Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Cassie Soulé and today I'm going to be talking to you about some tools that you can use to fight off those horse show nerves. First of all, I have a couple of questions for you. As you're packing up and getting ready to head off to your first show of this season, is there an overwhelming amount of anxiety and jitters that comes over you as you pack and predict the forecast for what your horse show is actually going to be like? Or when you're finally at the horse show and you're warming up and it's the best warm-up you've ever had, you head over to the show arena, and once that horse steps foot in the show arena, nerves take over. You forget everything that your instructor trainer has taught you and kind of get that deer in the headlights look. Has anyone experienced that? Just a couple questions for you to think about. I've been a lifetime equestrian, and over the last couple years there's been this urge, this deep desire for me to come up with ways to help other equestrians overcome roadblocks that they might run into in their riding, in their showing, in their training. So a couple years ago, I became a certified health and life coach. The certification program was amazing at getting me to think a little deeper when I was teaching. I still felt as if there was like another building block that was missing in my ability to help clients. That missing link that I was looking for, I found in a course through the Stanford University's master's degree program. It is called Clarity Catalyst. And I am going today to go through a few of the tools, a few of the 50 plus tools that I learned through this program that correlate and will help you overcome your show nerves. I have been showing horses for over 40 years. It has always been a dream of mine to become a professional trainer, and for several years I listened to people convince me that you can't make a living showing horses. You can't make a living training horses. You can't make a living basically following your heart and living your passion. About 20 years ago, I jumped in feet first and became a professional horse trainer. Now, I cannot tell you that this is a glamorous job or that there haven't been days where I just wanted to quit. But I remind myself on those days what it is that drove me to do what I do for a living. And that is my passion for horses. We all know that horses are inherent. They are a part of our soul. They are what makes us tick. I call it a disease that you can't get rid of. At one time, someone told me that they believed there was a merry-go-round of horses in my head. A few years ago, I was overwhelmed by this idea that I wanted to help others feel the passion and the joy that I feel for horses. And then one day, God delivered an email to me. And it was about this 8-week course, and it was titled Clarity Catalyst. I deleted it, and for a couple days, it was on that merry-go-round in my head, and I couldn't let it go. So I went back through my deleted email, and I opened it, and I read more about the course. It is an 8-week journey that is designed to help people course had been at Stanford since 1979, And in 2002, they took it out of the classroom and offered it to the general public. It was right around the time of 9/11, and they got a grant to offer this program to 400 widows who had lost their husbands in this tragic event. And along with grief counselors, these 400 women took this course. This course was a way for them to discover the new chapter in their life, and it worked. These women became productive, highly successful ladies. It was that missing link that I needed to fulfill my dream to help others reignite their passion and their love for horses. Today I'm going to share a few of those tools with you. Welcome to my Blue Ribbon Tools to help you win over horse show nerves. You showed up today because you struggle with nervousness in the show arena, or you just feel like you can't find a surefire way to feel more prepared and clearer in your head when you're competing. Whew, do I get that? I used to be a nervous wreck at competitions. First, I would listen to other people tell me wise advice like, just don't be nervous. I found myself consistently watching others in the warm-up arena and comparing myself to them and believing that I wasn't as good as them. I've shown horses since I was 8 years old. That is 40 years. I'm going to teach you as much as I can in the limited amount of time that we have on this video today. Our first tool is called the Wheel of Life, and in the description below there is a link that you can click on to pull it up and print it out. You can pause the video. If you would rather, you can just grab a blank piece of paper, draw a giant circle in the middle of your piece of paper, cut it into 8 pieces of pie. On one of those pieces of pie, right down the center, you'll find numbers. 0's in the center, 10 is on the outside of your circle. Those numbers have meaning as we go through this exercise. 10 would be excellent in dressage terms, right? It'd be awesome. 5 would be in the middle of your line, would be marginal. And then 0 in dressage would be not performed. In life, we'd call it like maybe a total debacle. So on our circle of life, we're gonna use this exercise to help us discover what's going great in our lives, what needs a little work. And I know you're probably thinking, what does the Wheel of Life have to do with showing my horse? It has everything to do with showing your horse. Because whatever is happening in one part of your life is happening in every part of your life. I'm so excited. So let's get started. I urge you to do this wheel with, listen carefully, no judgments and no negative self-talk. I just want you to be honest, and I want you to go with that first gut instinct. So we're gonna go through it pretty fast because honestly, I just don't want you thinking. I just want you to be honest with yourselves. So, as we go through, if you haven't printed it off, in your first box or your first slice of pie, we're gonna put health. And when we talk about health in your life, we're talking about how's your eating? Are you working out? Are you taking time for self-care? On a scale of 0 to 10. The next little slice of pie is your living space. That would be your sanctuary, right? Is it decluttered? Is it clean? Do you love it? Do you live with others? On a scale of 0 to 10, how would you rate your living space? The next piece of pie is family, and this one's always a tough one, or can be a tough one. When we talk about family members, we have those that we adore and those that we wonder about. When you think about family, you think about the overall communication, the connections that you have with your family, and whether or not those relationships are harmonious. And in my case, I don't have a lot of family, but I have a lot of friends that I count as family. Next is finances. How's your job? How's your retirement? How's your confidence with your finances? And as we slip over to the other half of our pie, we're gonna title this Slice Career. I don't have any other questions for career other than this one. Do you wake up every day inspired and excited about your job? On a scale of 0 to 10. Our next piece of pie is spirituality, and this differs for all of us. For some of us, it's that connection that we have to our God. For some of us, we connect through meditation, yoga. You know when you're plugged into your spirituality. Recreation, my favorite. How much fun are you having? On a scale of 0 to 10. Lastly is romance, yet another loaded topic. Maybe you're with the one you love, the love of your life, or maybe you're romancing yourself. You're giving yourself love, care. On a scale of 0 to 10, how would you rate your romance? Then my favorite part of the Wheel of Life is connecting the dots. Always makes me feel like I'm 8. Here's my Wheel of Life. Slightly resembles Fred Flintstone tire, right? How's your Wheel of Life? Again, the best part of the program, the 8-week Clarity Catalyst program, was the fact that when I did this Wheel of Life and it came out looking like a Fred Flintstone tire, I didn't feel any sort of desire to beat myself up over it. Instead, I was so excited because I had learned the tools that I would need to change my Wheel of Life, maybe put a spare tire on for a little while, and get my Wheel of Life more circular so that I had complete balance. Finally, we're going to take one of those spokes on your Wheel of Life that you see as a 7 or below, and that you desire to have the most improvement. And we're going to declare it in a statement as if it's already been improved. So please write this down. I feel blank that I am now blank. The first blank is how we feel when the second blank is accomplished. Think about a breakthrough that you'd like to have in an area that you deeply desire to have a breakthrough in. Here's one of mine. I feel overwhelmed with joy that I am living my life's purpose in my career. I'll give you a couple of minutes to think about what would be your declaration sentence. What would be that area in your life that you would like to see the most breakthrough with, and how would that feel? And if you'd like to share your sentence in the comments section below, if you feel comfortable sharing, this exercise is fantastic to start helping you see the areas in your life that you feel weak in. and which areas in your life you feel strong in. Now remember, I told you that I get show nerves, right? And what if I also told you that clearly my wheel of life didn't have balance? Right? Those two things are so true. Yet I have tools to help overcome both of those. So I'm going to go through a couple more tools that I want you to take with you. You might pack them in your tack trunk before you throw it into the horse trailer to head to your next show. The first one helps when you're overcome by anxiety. You feel like you can't get everything done before you get there, or you feel like you can't get everything done to get that horse ready to go into that show arena. You're late, you overslept, you are running on empty, and you just need to take a little bit of time, just a little bit of time to come back and be present. It's one of my favorites, and I find myself doing it sometimes 2 or 3 times throughout the day, because one of my personality traits is that I feel like I have to get everything done. So this is the thing that I do. I will sit down, I will get comfortable, take a few good deep breaths, and then I place my hand out in front of me. And they call this exercise Calm Palm. What you do is you take your index finger from your other hand, you place it on the bottom of your palm, and as you outline each finger, you're going to count and you're going to breathe. So as I crawl up my thumb, I'm counting 1, breathing in, 2, and then I place my hand over my heart. It's a great tool to lower your anxiety and bring you back to the present. Another tool that I used actually at my last horse show was the stress reduction mantra. And it was horribly helpful. I was riding a super young horse, didn't have many miles under saddle. He was at his first horse show. The wind was blowing. All the circumstances were lined up and stacked up against me, against him. I felt like it wasn't going to be a successful outing for him, which is most important to me. But I felt as though I wasn't going to be the best partner to him if I didn't rethink my attitude. So what I'd like you to do is think of something that's stressing you out. You're at a horse show. It could be things like, my horse isn't clean enough. My last ride before the show was awful. The wind's blowing. Oh no, they just showed up. You know who they are, right? When you narrow it down and you find that one stress factor that is really like that's the one, sit quietly and try to figure out where it's affecting you in your body. It could be in your head, in your gut, that lump in your throat. Could be in your heart. And when you discover where it's at in your body, then I want you to put your hand over that part of your body. In my example that I gave you about being nervous about taking this young horse out, I felt it in my gut. So I put both hands over my gut as I was sitting in my lawn chair under the awning outside my horse trailer. And I repeated this mantra. And when you use this, you want to remember that you are speaking directly to that stressor. So my stressor was that I was nervous about taking this horse out for the first time. It was his first show. Fast forward, he had a great time in that show arena. He had a super fun time in warm-up. He thought he was out cruising with all of his buddies, and it worked out fantastic. I ask you this, can you remember what was causing you nervousness at the second horse show of the season in 2019? I can't. But I can guarantee you at the time of that second horse show in 2019, I thought it was the most important thing ever. I won't remember what caused me show jitters, but what I will remember is what helped get me through those show jitters. Let me say that again. I won't remember what caused my show jitters at a show 3 years ago. What I will remember are the tools that I used to help myself win over those show nerves or show jitters. In the description bar below, you're going to find a couple of links. One of them is a link to more information on the Clarity Catalyst program that I've spoken so highly about throughout this video. The other link that you will find is a meditation. It is a fun meditation and yet another tool that I learned from the Catalyst Clarity course that I took. Thank you so much for listening today. Enjoy the meditation. Enjoy the rest of your day. Happy trails and good luck the next time you head down Centerline or into that show arena. Thank you.